So what are the CVS diseases? Okay, what is cardiovascular system? So cardiovascular system is comprised of two parts basically. CVS means cardiovascular system. So cardio means this is one related to heart. Okay, vascular means blood and blood vessels. Okay, so this together combined we call as cardiovascular system, CVS. Okay, so basically okay, so for example here we have heart, right? So let's take this as heart. Okay, I'm not okay. So here we have two different sort of blood vessels. Okay, under the blood vessels we have two different sorts. Okay, arteries and veins. Okay, arteries, they carry pure blood. Pure blood means oxygenated blood. That means they have oxygen in it. Okay, veins, they carry impure blood. That means deoxygenated blood. Okay, they have more of carbon dioxide, which has to be eliminated. Okay, eliminated means not blood is eliminated, the carbon dioxide has to be pushed out of the body during the respiration. Okay, now in the heart again we have four chambers. Okay, atria and ventricles. The upper two chambers are called atria, the lower two chambers are called ventricles. Okay, right and left atria, right and left ventricles. Okay, so here in between the usually the blood, okay, all the deoxygenated blood, okay, all the impure blood will be collected from the different organs, and it will enter into the atria. Okay, so in the atria it will be purified, okay, and it will enter into the ventricles. Okay, and from the ventricles again we have a different blood vessel which carries the proper pure oxygenated blood. Okay, so here we have something called as valves. Okay, the valves open, okay, then only the blood from the atria will enter into the ventricle. Okay, so that is what basically happens. Okay, now the pure blood, okay, from the heart, it will be carried to different parts of the body, but through which? Okay, so this is called as aorta. Okay, the main big blood vessel. Okay, the big pipe which will be running almost throughout the body. Okay, so this is called as aorta, and from this big branch, okay, big trunk of the tree, imagine this as a trunk of a tree. Okay, now this has a different branches. Okay, so one branch will be supplying to stomach. Okay, one branch will be supplying to kidneys. Okay, one branch will be supplying to liver. Okay, one branch will be supplying to the excretory system, digestive system, everything. Okay, so just a gist I'm giving. Okay, this is not so important. Okay, but you have to understand that there is a main trunk of the blood vessel that is known as aorta. Okay, aorta. Okay, from these we have different branches. So the pure blood will be from this main branch. It will be supplied to smaller, the different organs to the smaller branches. Okay, just the basics. Okay, I'll not go into deep again. Okay, now in the blood vessels we have arteries and veins. Okay, in the heart again we know we have four chambers. The upper chambers are called atria. The lower chambers are called ventricles. Again, we have right and left. Okay. Now, cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death globally, accounting for approximately 1/3 of all the deaths. Okay. And it is also considered as the costliest disease because the treatment and everything, it costs comparatively a lot compared to the other things. Okay. So basically, it not only puts the burden on the individual, but also on the entire system. Okay. Because even that equipment, if a particular person is suffering from cardiovascular disease, okay, if he is not working, he is not contributing to the economy, right? So obviously the country will also be burdened with more amount of cardiovascular diseases. Okay, now here you can see this is a map. Okay, from 1992, if you see till now, okay, the graph is consistently increasing. Okay, the graph of CVD, cardiovascular disorders, are consistently increasing. Okay, so among the male and female, male are more prone for the cardiovascular diseases compared to female. Okay, the reason is because of the presence of these cardiovascular diseases are more prominent in postmenopausal women. Okay, the hormones that are present in the women are a little protective in nature in this pertaining to the cardiovascular thing. Okay, hence that is the reason why these cardiovascular deaths or the diseases are more predominant in male compared to the female. Okay, but again, if you compare a reproductive female and the postmenopausal female are at a higher risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. Okay, now if you see among the countries, obviously our first is China. After that, again India ranks second, even in the cardiovascular deaths also. Even in diabetes also, India ranks second after China. Okay, which is not a good thing. We are not ranking for a good thing in a second place. Okay, so now coming to the types of heart diseases. Okay, so cardiovascular disease is like an umbrella term. Okay, under that we have three different categories: coronary heart disease or the coronary artery disease. The other one is peripheral artery disease, and the other one is cerebrovascular disease. Okay, I told you there are two systems, right? Heart and blood vessels. Okay. Now just let me write it down. Okay. Okay. Now we have heart and blood vessels. Okay. So pertaining to heart, the diseases are known as coronary. Coronary means something related to heart. Okay. The blood vessels supplying to the heart are known as coronary vessels. Okay. Coronary means something related to heart. Okay. Coronary heart disease. In short, we call it as CHD. Okay. So they'll under this coronary heart disease, again, we have multiple heart diseases. Okay, it could be like myocardial infarction, okay, MI, heart attack, okay, myocardial infarction, or this we have I mean like valvular diseases, something related to the structure of the heart also. If there is abnormality in the structure of the heart or in the musculature, heart is nothing but muscle, right? In that particular pumping and everything, if there is a problem, again, that will also comes under the CHD, heart diseases only. Okay. Now under the blood vessels, okay. Now we have a blood vessel that is supplying to the brain. So there are major blood vessels that is supplying to the brain. Okay. If that particular blood vessel is blocked or it has some problem in that particular blood vessel, okay, that leads to cerebrovascular disease, strokes. Okay. If there is a problem in the blood vessel that is supplying blood to the brain from the heart, okay, then that will lead to cerebrovascular disease, CVD. Okay. Then we have peripheral artery disease. Periphery means extremities. Okay. Peripheral artery disease. That means PAD. Okay. So basically periphery means here more than the upper arms. It is something related to the lower arms. Okay. So if there is any problem in the blood vessels that are supplying to the lower legs, okay, that will lead to peripheral artery disease. That is called as peripheral artery disease. Again, there are many different types in that. Again, I'll not be going into that particular thing. Okay. So again, we have one more thing called aortic atherosclerosis. Aorta, I told you, the main artery that is running in our body, right? So what is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis is nothing but the formation of fat in the blood vessels. Okay. As a result, there will be blockage. Okay, let me show you one image so that you can understand what is atherosclerosis. Okay, this is what the blood vessel is. Okay, so blood vessel is also nothing but musculature only. Okay, it also has the outer layers. Okay, but inside those outer layers you can see this yellow color. Fat is represented by yellow color. Okay, if there is more bad cholesterol and more fat deposition in the blood vessels, what happens? This passage is becoming narrow, right? So slowly, as the fat keeps on increasing, there'll be a total blockage here. So the blood cannot pass through. That will lead to strokes and infarctions, myocardial infarctions. Okay. So if you want even more clear image, okay. So this is how the fat looks like. What is this? Is nothing but the layer of the muscle. Okay. Layer of the, what do you say, blood vessel. Okay, so the blood vessel is nothing but, imagine that as a pipe. Okay, plastic pipe. Okay, that plastic pipe again has that that outer layer is there, right? So the outer layer is again divided into some 3 layers. Consider that as a muscular pipe. Blood vessel is nothing but a muscular pipe. Okay, so now in those muscular pipe layers, okay, the fat is going and depositing. Okay, why is that depositing and everything? That I will discuss in the next class. Okay, the atherosclerosis. Okay, so just to give you that visualization how exactly atherosclerosis looks like. Okay, I'm showing you. So what is happening here? The blockage, the diameter is becoming narrow, right? So the blood passage also decreases. So in these scenarios is where we do the stunting. Okay, we put a stunt inside, right? We take a, you might have heard about stunts, right? Few people have taken have had this stunt put in. So what we do is basically we send a balloon like structure first. Okay, so here there is a narrow passage, right? Now until here it will go properly. Here what we do is once it reaches the narrow portion, we will increase the balloon diameter. Okay, the balloon keeps increasing. As a result, what happens? This will also, the diameter also increases. So once the diameter increases, what we'll do? We'll place a stunt. So that particular passage will maintain in the normal diameter only. So the diameter is decreased by, first to increase the space, we need a balloon. Okay, with the balloon, we will increase it. Okay, balloon like structure. Okay, it's not the actual balloon with what we play. Okay, so after once the diameter is increased, just the diameter has to be whole, right? Once we pull the balloon back again, the diameter will become narrow. It should not happen, right? So once the balloon increases the diameter, we place a stunt, like, stunt means think like a hard pipe like structure. Okay, so that will go and that will be placed, so it will hold the diameter in position. So now it will not become narrow. So that is basic, in short, in a simple way, what exactly a stunt or what and how it helps. Okay, is this okay or too much of an information?